Having a hard time walking. Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Fog's World. So when we last left off, I had just finished building most of this machine, but I had not hooked it up, and I had not given it a full test. Well, I have since hooked it up. So let me show you what I got going here. This here is the AFK switch. This is what turns off after this timer has been on for a length of time. We'll talk more about that in a second. When this torch, when this empties, this torch turns on, which will drive this line high, which will turn that torch off, even if this line is off. And this line, I can't reach around, but that's hooked up to the on-off switch over there. So basically, this line right up here is only powered when that switch is on and this line is low. In other words, when the AFK timer has not gone off. So that means that if I flip the AFK timer, it's going to let me operate the machine. It's going to let the lava stay gone. I guess that's the way to put it. It's going to keep the lava away only until this timer goes off. Now, if you leave the AFK timer off, then throwing this switch immediately affects the lava. This thing turns on and off by this switch whether or not the AFK timer has gone off, which is actually a good thing, because that means that once the AFK timer goes off, everything else continues to operate, and any blazes that are kind of still working their way through the system will still get crushed. So, which is what I want. So this is now hooked up correctly. That's all hooked up right. But when I gave it a full test, well, here, let me show you a short clip of what happened here. When I gave it a full test, the blazes would occasionally mess up, and every now and then you'd get in this weird situation where the blaze is backed up in the system, and it took me a while to figure out why. But if you look very carefully, you could see that occasionally it was firing more than one cart at a time, and also occasionally the blazes were getting in the cart in such a way that the cart wouldn't move. So I did a bunch of experimentation with this thing before I finally found a design that worked. Let me come back here. I don't really have enough of these guys, so we're going to open it this way. I want to make sure I got enough to cover it back up again. So let's get this open, and I'll show you what the new mechanism is like. So I realized a couple of things. First thing that I realized... let's get back in here. The first thing that I realized was that I didn't really need to do a thing that detected when there were carts in there, because I always have carts in there. So I got rid of the detection and ejection mechanism, and now this thing only turns on based on the tripwire. So here's what happens. When a blaze comes down into the tripwire, it turns this torch off, which turns this torch on, which starts this clock. And this clock's been timed to just the right timing so that the carts will just make it through there without interfering. So this timing, I've experimented a lot with it, and it now works perfectly. So you need 2 repeaters set at 4 ticks. You need a comparator, and that'll set up the proper clock. So this will come around, and it feeds through this block into this redstone here, which will eject a minecart onto that rail, usually picking up any blaze that's above it. And then 4 ticks later, it will cause this piston to pulse, which pushes, this is a sticky piston, which pushes that powered rail over to there with the cart on it. And that act of pushing the rail is enough to cause the cart to come and roll down into there and get going. And this seems to work very, very reliably with one minor problem, and that is that occasionally, well, not occasionally, almost always, there'll be one or two of the blaze that just will not jump into the cart. So you end up with a couple of blazes that end up stuck here, which is okay because it fixes itself when you walk away, you know, and just having those blazes there is almost always enough to jiggle the other blazes into the cart. So it just means it takes it a little bit longer to get going, and that once it gets started, it's not going to stop ejecting carts until I walk away, which is, like I said, that's not really a big deal. So let's go ahead and cover this back up. And another important element was putting this block there. We needed a solid block above this piston because, as I mentioned last episode, pistons will pull things now. And even if they're not a sticky piston, if something gets inside the piston head, it'll get pulled back into the piston itself, which would let the blazes get out if this block weren't there. This block keeps that from happening. So anyway, it now works perfectly. Whoops. Having a hard time walking. And yeah, it works great, and I'm super happy with it. And oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you is I played around with the timings back here, and I found that if you use 75 blocks back here in the etho hopper, that causes this thing to have a cycle of almost exactly 1 minute. Now, because of the way I've got this guy set up, where this guy is on that particular side, standing on, there's a block. See this block right there? Because the minute I turn it on, this block is going to go under there and eject the first stick. You have to put one more stick in here than minutes. So right now I've got it set to exactly 15 minutes, and it will go like very, very close to 15 minutes. You'll be off by maybe a second. So yeah, it's pretty accurate. So this thing's currently set at a 15-minute timer, which is, you know, enough that my machine starts to lag, but not so badly that I can't shut the machine off and kill the blazes and all that. So anyway, half of the blaze farm is done. And I will get around to doing the other half eventually, but not today. Today, I've got something else planned. Alright guys, so the time has come. The time has come to get on top of the nether. So I've already built this ladder here that takes us up to the very roof of the nether. And we're going to use a little trick to get up on top of the nether, and then we're going to use another trick to open up a block directly above us so that we can get up into to the top of the nether without having to play these tricks. So, as you can tell, I built this ladder here, and comes over to this area here, which I blasted out with a bunch of TNT in order to find an area just like this one. These two blocks right there, if you look at it with F3, you can see those are at Y127. So those are the very top of the bedrock, very top of the nether. That is the roof of the nether. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the minecart trick. Place down a minecart. We're going to hop in here, jump, drop a rail, drop a minecart, jump into the minecart, and that should get us on top of the nether. So this gets a little tricky, so I got to do this kind of fast so that I can avoid suffocating in the roof. But wish me luck. Let's do it. Ready? Go. Come on, get in there. There we go. Got it. Whew! That always makes me nervous. But now what I want to do is I want to open up a hole in the nether, and I want to figure out it's got to be right at 198 and 255. There's 255 and there's 198. So my hole that I want to open up is right here. So if I were to remove that bedrock right there, I'd have a hole straight down into my ladder. So that's where I want to do it. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little trick that I first saw done by a guy named, what is it, Sliced Lime. Sliced Lime. And he got this trick from somebody else, and I'll put links below. Who was it? I'm trying to find my notes here, and I'm not seeing it. Myron Ario is the guy that he got it from, and he has a detailed explanation, but Sliced Lime tutorial is pretty easy to follow, so that's kind of what I liked about that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to count 4 from here, starting this block, and we're going to go on a diagonal. This is 1, that's 2, that's 3, and this spot right there is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to put a couple of cobblestone walls right there, and yeah, that's good enough for now. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lay down an obsidian wall right here because we're going to put some redstone behind this obsidian. And we're going to be building an explosion right here. And we don't want the explosion to take out the redstone that we're going to be putting in. I should have some levers. Yes, I do, right there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use a TNT minecart and a little timing trick to blow off the piston heads of these pistons. And this has to be timed just right. So let's make sure we get this right. 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we turn the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that gets us a 10 tick delay. Let me get a block. Did I bring? Okay, I got some blocks here. Don't want to really use obsidian for this. So if I put a block there and a block there, and I need some redstone. Put you there. Put some redstone right there. No, not there. I want this one right there. Okay. So now when I throw this switch, exactly 40 ticks later, this should have expanded, and it didn't. Why did you not expand? Because I needed to do... What did I do? Oh, I see what I did. Let's do this right, shall we? You and you and you. Yeah, that's what I needed right there. Okay. And then I can turn this off. And bingo. Okay. Let's put down a light or two here. This is going to make an explosion. So I'm going to put some lights out here, which hopefully will be far enough away. All right, let me make darn sure. Oops, hold on, I need you. You got to stay there. All right, I think we got it. I think we're good. So let's put down our TNT minecart and throw the switch. And it didn't work. Why didn't you work? You should have ignited that. Because it's not an activator rail. No activator rail. Well, that's a problem. Let's plunk this guy down and see if I'm lucky enough to have an activator rail here. No, of course not. Can I make an activator rail? Okay, I just need 2 activator rails, so we should be able to do this. And put a couple of you there. Activator rails. Oh, they make 6 at a time, so I didn't need to do quite so many. But all right. Let me pick this guy up just to be sure. Okay, so now I have activator rail. Oh my gosh, how lame. Okay, so that should turn on. That's my activator rail right there. All right, we're good. We're good. Let's do it again. Take 2. Oh boy, was I lucky I had the right materials to make that. Okay, let's do it. Back up. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. See that? it blew the piston head off the piston. And that is precisely what I wanted it to do. So now what I need to do is I need to go over here and bud power that. Make sure that it doesn't go away. And now we're going to power this piston over here. And we're going to do that by placing down another block right here. Just like that. We can go ahead and turn this off now. There we go. And let's place down another TNT minecart and repeat the process. And there you go. It's blown. And now that I think about it, I kind of wanted to put you somewhere else. But I think this will still work. Oh, no, I can do it this way. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay because it's still powered. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. And now I can remove this and this and that and that. We can actually remove all this stuff now. And give me you back. We're going to go ahead and leave the obsidian for now. So it's very important that these guys be left in this state, budded like this. These guys are powered by these blocks, and that's important because if we don't do that right, these guys will update, and we don't want them to update. So we've got to go up. I've got to get a piston facing down right here. So let's go ahead and that should be enough. Right there. Yeah, that does it. Okay. Put you right there. And put another block in there. And now we have a piston facing down. So let's go ahead and collect this back. And then I can get this piston back. And I need a piston facing up right here. Just like that. Good? Alright, so let's go ahead and set this out. We got to put this just right. The timings are very important here. This needs to be a two 1-tick repeaters. This needs to be an actual 2-tick repeater. And this needs a 1-tick repeater there and a 1-tick repeater there. And then we go ahead and hook all this stuff up with redstone like this. And we're going to put a lever down right here and power it. Just like that. That's exactly what we want. Okay. Now I can break these blocks because they're powered. And now when I throw this switch, what's going to happen is a very complicated set of stuff that I don't fully understand, but we're going to exploit a bug in the game with regard to pistons. What we have here is 2 pistons extended into the same block. 2 sticky pistons extended in the same block. We have another piston that's extended up and another piston that's going to rapidly be extended down as soon as this gets powered. And all of these things operating in concert, along with the fact that when pistons retract, they do very strange things, and along with all the timings, should erase the bedrock right below that piston. So let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Bingo. So now if I break this one, you can see that's still there. That's still there. Let's go ahead and collect this. Here we go. And now the moment of truth. Did it work? It did. Look at that. And we put it in just the right spot too. Ha ha! I love it. Okay, I can collect my bedrock now. And go ahead and put in the rest of my ladder. And we now have a way up onto the bedrock. So I did go ahead and put in a minecart elevator here. Let me show you how this works. You guys have all seen this before probably, but you know, we'll demonstrate anyway. Stand under here, look up at the minecart, hold down right click, and before you know it, you're all the way at the top. Now, let me real quick show you how I put this in. Give me 1 second and I'll go back to a previous save and demonstrate building some of this. Alright, so you've got this big ladder leading up into the top of the nether. How do you build these mine carts? Well, it's really very simple. First of all, you just need something that can catch the mine carts on top of a ladder. And the top one is very easy. Put that down, put that down, put that down, and break it. It's that simple. Starting at the top is the easiest way to go because it's very easy to go down from these guys, but it's not quite as easy to go up when you haven't got it finished. So I like to start at the top and work down. And basically you just fall through here like this and then count down 3. 1, 2, 3. And now you're standing on top of this ladder. Break out 2 blocks, walk in, place down a block, place down your rail, place down your minecart, break the block, climb into the minecart, replace the blocks, and then hit shift to drop down to the next level. And it is that easy. Then you just rinse and repeat. 1, 2, 3. Break a couple out of the side like this. Plunk down another block. Plunk down a rail. Plunk down another minecart. Break the block. Climb into the minecart. Replace the blocks you just broke. And shift to go down, and it's that easy. Just rinse and repeat until you're done. Alright, so I'm back in my regular world now, back in the latest world. And in many ways, building up is really just more of the same, but it's in some ways it's kind of easier once you're out in the open because you don't have to dig holes anywhere. Basically, you just put your ladder in and start going up from here. Getting started is a little tricky, but 3, and we want you. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and you, and 1, 2, 3, and you, until you get as high as you want to go. Then you just go ahead and start putting things down here, like this. It's really this simple. Put some half slabs here to keep things from spawning and to give us a place to hold our minecart, and we'll pop this guy in there. I didn't bring any rails. Alright, put down your rail, put down your minecart, break the block, collect the rail back, and you're good. It's really that simple. And then coming down, we just do the same thing in reverse, right? So I'm going to go ahead and extend that up all the way to the ceiling so that we can build whatever we want to build up there. But we're going to build that another day. For today, I thought I'd end by showing you the Blaze Farm in action. Alright guys, are you ready? ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's done. Haha! Works like a charm. I can't wait to get the other one working and see how much better it gets when there's two working at the same time. So I should mention, these guys are going to continue to run because there will be a couple of guys stuck down in there. But that's okay. When I walk away, they'll despawn and this thing will stop. These carts will stop running as well. But anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today. As always, thanks for watching. And if you liked what you saw here, please leave a like so other people can find my videos. It does help, and it makes me feel ever so good to know that people liked what I did. And if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. We do this every Monday morning. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. I will talk to you all next time on Fog's World.